Fala, apaixonados por futebol, bem-vindos ao canal. Segunda-feira, dia 18, o Fluminense estreia no Mundial de Clubes da FIFA pela primeira vez na sua história, com toda a expectativa de que eles possam chegar na final e fazer um confronto histórico contra o Manchester City. E eu vou trazer aqui para vocês toda a repercussão internacional dos jogos do tricolor, começando pela análise dos americanos do The Give and Go. Vamos conferir, deixem a opinião de vocês, já se inscrevam no canal e boa.
On the other side, you have Fluminense awaiting either Al Ahly, Al Ittihad, or Auckland City. Copa Libertadores champions Fluminense, who defeated Boca Libertadores in extra time. Fernando Diniz guiding these guys. John Arias, Andre, Marcelo, Ganso, Keno, John Kennedy, Herman Cano. Finished the Brazilian league in 7th place, but to them it didn't matter. They got the biggest trophy in South America, winning the Copa Libertadores. And just to kind of remind you guys of what happened with the Brazilian or South American representative last year, Flamengo lost in the semifinals to the Saudi Arabian side in Al Hilal, who then went on to go to the final to face off against Manchester City. That's what Fluminense has here. They have history in terms of a nation, Brazilian side coming to this tournament time and time again, but they have the momentum of having won a major trophy and actually having some really good, experienced players on this squad. And when I say experience, I'm talking about players in their fucking 40s, bro. I think their goalkeeper's like 44 years old, bro.
Yeah, Felipe Melo too, Marcelo.
Guys nearing the 40-year mark. So true grandpa veteran experience here. Will they be able to make it to the final, given that they are probably set to face off against either a really feisty Al Ahly side, or by that point, if they make it there, an Al Ittihad side that will probably be healthy and then in really good form playing at home?
I think no matter who they play, Auckland, Al Ittihad, or Al Ahly, I think Fluminense wins. I really do think so. When they find their form, they are nearly unstoppable on the offensive end. And that's the thing, is I don't know if I see Al Ahly or Al Ittihad outscoring Fluminense. That's my biggest thing. They might concede a couple, but Fluminense will outscore you. And if they show up knowing that they get to play Manchester City in that final, to have an opportunity to play against a side like that, I think they're going to win no matter who they play in that semi.
Yeah, man, I tried to convince myself of Al Ittihad going on like a pretty magical run here. But the thing is, to get to the final, they got to win 3 games, dude. 3. And there's too many questions. Like we said, the injuries, the chemistry, they have the names, they have the guidance behind Marcelo Gallardo, but it's not proven the way that Fluminense is, man. And the fact that Fluminense, their first, you think they're just going to arrive at Saudi Arabia and lose their first match? That just doesn't feel like Fluminense to me, because time and time again, especially in South America and La Copa Libertadores, you have to prove that you can face adversity and defeat it and overcome it. And they did it, bro, over and over again against these really strong South American sides, doing it and finishing it off against Boca Juniors in that final in extra time, which I just think says so much about their character, about the way that they can just, step up in those big moments with pressure on them. I think it's huge, and I just don't think a team like Al Ahly can do that. I don't think a team like Al Ittihad will be able to top them ultimately. Will it be a good match? I do think so.
Yeah.
I do think these teams either one of these teams can pose a really good threat. But I do see a Brazilian team not getting upset this year, with Fluminense going through and facing off against Manchester City, which that should make for a great matchup, man.
And this is where I'm going to give that gambler's chance here, because if City are a little out of form, if they do have a little bit of injury, then I think Fluminense is the only team in this tournament that could maybe take advantage. Now, obviously, if I have to pick a winner, I'm still going to choose Manchester City. I think the way that they manage a game, Fluminense too, just can go a little quiet during 90 minutes. And if you do that against Manchester City, you might get heavily punished. So I'm still going to pick City as the ultimate winners here. But I'm actually going to give Fluminense a decent chance here. I think they can go at Manchester City. But it's just such a tough task if you're not used to that type of pressure.
I think, man, I mean this with all respect. I really do. But the way I see this matchup, I think City's spanking Fluminense. Yeah. We're going to see a Brazilian spanking here. And it's no disrespect to Fluminense, but it's because of the styles for me, man. I just think that Fluminense was able to get these victories time and time again because the teams that they faced off against, like you mentioned, weren't able to really capitalize on them when they had that window of opportunity. And Manchester City, I mean, they create the window of opportunity. They don't wait for you to give it to them. So the fact that they have a team just coming at them with the quality that they have at hand, Pep Guardiola with his opportunity to win this team their first Club World Cup championship, I really don't see a universe where Fluminense is able to win where Fluminense is able to get the victory here. When you look in the past, when you look at the teams that have been able to upset the strong European side, like a Corinthians, or I believe, who was the other one? Sao Paulo, I think, did it as well in the early 2000s. When you look at those teams and you look at who they face, the teams they faced did have their flaws. They might have lost their form from the months after they had won the Champions League tournament. With Manchester City, though they have lost it a bit contextually within the grand scheme of who they are, I don't think it's enough to give that gambler's chance to Fluminense. So I'm going to go City wins this matchup. I'm actually going to say like 3-0, maybe 3-1, and they become FIFA Club World Cup champions, man, for the first time in their club's history.